Hello, Fontrine, and welcome back to the Eastern Front, or well, at least the Voronezh front here, in the Bird Grove DLC. We're heading into turn 13, isn't that crazy? Uh, this DLC has gone past like really quickly, honestly. In my opinion, it's quite long, 16 turns, or at least in my opinion, that's long to be recording and stuff. I'll just hit the next turn button here and see what happens. Okay, so this is what the front line looked in real life, and this is what we've got going for us. So I would say we're doing a hell of a lot better, than the Germans were by this time, which is always cool to see. Just look at this place even. This and I think a lot of it has to do with us actually, pushing out here, establishing a bridgehead here on the other side of Nestilova, not allowing the enemy to, take to even get here and try and take Berggrove from this place. We only really had to focus on the main front line, which is really cool. The HKL, as the Germans would have called it, the Hauptkampflinie, which is just well, it literally means main front line. We would say the Swedish huvudfrontlinje, I guess, directly translated. But I don't think that's a term we use. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We're gonna get our troops into freaking like position here and get going, boys. I don't know what to say. We're fucking gonna we're gonna beat the Soviets back. I don't care. We almost really if we're going from like the goals I set for myself, so we're pretty close actually. We need to take the southern part here of Verilovka, and yeah, but I'm figuring we could probably do some more with it. We will see though. These might just be strong and replenished units we're going up against. So I'm not gonna be too cocky, although a little bit maybe. Anyway, let me just get the setting everything up, and then I'll get back to you guys. So see you in a bit. Okay, and here we are. I mean, I know for a fact that our supply lines are fucking they're horrible, but also there's so little space to maneuver around here. Like there, you have a lot of battle groups here on the operational map, and it's just you know this is true. Like we talked earlier about battlefield congestion, and this is honestly what I would call battlefield congestion. Just looking at this map overall. However, we have attacks across the whole front line. We can see even the 836th Rifle Regimental HQ up here. We're gonna retake Verilovka, or the unnamed farmstead up there, and try to just retake along Kaveria Creek here. Maybe possible that we will do even more, depending on how the battles appear for us. So let's just hit this button and see what we get. Oh yeah, and this battle group with the tanks in it, I've put the tanks just out of them. They need to rest. They need a breather, So there are no tanks here on the front line. No friendly tanks. Actually, this tank, it's one tank in here. It has no ammo. it's it's gonna be of no help to us. However, as we can see here, lots of friendly battle groups. The strategic or the operational depth is certainly in our favor here, which is always nice to see. And yeah, we're coming back to some familiar territory here, and it's gonna be pretty cool, I think. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, looking nice and clear for once, and here we have arrived units. That's totally my fault, but I'm not sure why they are counted as arrived. I I think I didn't move these guys further than like one node. So it's totally unclear to me. However, luckily there are no heavy units in the... Okay, they have our only mortar spotter here. Okay. But luckily there are no heavy units here that need to, like for example, AT guns and such. These dudes can easily maneuver into position, and they're not at the front line, so it's no biggie. And here we have these bastards have been... I mean, they have to... Nobody here has ammo. These are just Boy Scouts at this point, and yeah, these dudes have been encircled throughout the whole campaign for some reason. I mean, God knows why. Anyway, I think this company will be having to actually set up defense for Gnestilova. These dudes cannot be counted on. Yeah, but everything else is looking kind of nice, and you can see our where we're going into, and like top on the menu is farmstead nameless up here. We have retaken this uh, low value farmstead. I mean, look at what's left of Makri, farmstead Makri here. There's nothing here. There's and except bodies. I mean, yeah, bodies of German and Soviet soldiers. That's all we have here for this place. I mean, it's just what a bloodbath for nothing. I mean, it's also this unknown plot of land next to it, which is just filled with blown out machinery, tanks and trucks and all sorts, and a bunch of dead men as well, obviously, which is just nothing really of worth there, but it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, you'll just get depressed if you ponder too much on such things. Let's see now how many men we have under our command. Nearly 1,000. That is something, ain't it? And it's 6 o'clock. Foggy weather with a clear forecast, so hopefully we get some better. I don't know when the sun rises here, actually. Uh, at this time of year, it's quite far south, so I suspect that we will have some sun, moving up here. But I don't know. Anyway, I'll get to going. I'll get to going. I'll set everyone out and try to make something out of this. So catch you guys in a second. Okay, and here we are, guys. So orders have been issued to the two attacking platoons, Kilian and Herzl, which are in good order, except for their low experience. Uh, that will maybe be a hinder, but we have a lot of fire support to back them up with, which is, I will hope that will help them out in their endeavors. I was hoping that Hofrichter would also be one of the attacking platoons, but just the way I could set everything up is quite a big hinder in that, or like large hindrance to that, so they will have to be one of the blocking platoons together with sights over here. Will be blocking as well. You can see they have machine guns to their help to scan across the Don River here, and also AT guns. However, ammunition is low for the machine guns, so it's not the best situation. It's not the worst. Hopefully, it'll work out. We also have this tank, which is, as you can see, extremely low on ammo, but it has some ammo and it can help out. We're keeping it on hold fire for now, and yeah, we're basically, it's gonna be getting in there. Where if we ever encounter anywhere like, okay, we need a tank here, we have a couple of seconds of fighting from a tank, but not a lot more than that. Kilian and Herzl platoons has the Kolb MG platoon as well, which I've told to get out in the field as well to provide fire towards here, as the plan is to basically take this hill to begin with, and from there on out advance onto farmstead nameless. On the left side, we're looking more towards retaking the crossroads here, together with all the, it's hard to see, I know guys, it's fog and it's quite dark, but yeah, together with all the strong points and stuff here. And look, we can even see bodies here, corpses from the earliest battles we should be seeing. Yeah, look here, this is a Soviet tank company, which we totally demolished here. If you watched that video, you can remember it, and if you haven't watched it, I can recommend it. I think it's the second video of the campaign or something. Anyway, moving on to the most western flank here. Everyone is holding fire. We have Medle recon platoon up here, and the Dolman AT gun platoon, who are the forward guard here on this side. And our objective here is basically to first of all capture this trench system with Holberg and Lutwitz infantry platoons, and yeah, from there on out move towards the leftern part here of they aren't marked on the map, but most western leftern part, whatever you want to call it here, of the stronghold. and then move eastwards towards the crossroads and possibly towards Farmstead, Nameless, and so on. We have even a healthy pipe up platoon, which will be part of the attack, I'm thinking. And Laub is here as a block, together with the company's machine guns, which are looking towards this big open field. It's a lot of open field, guys, you know. You quickly become very Napoleonic in your, like, how you deploy your units here. And it doesn't leave, like, a whole lot of room for anything, even though you have so much room, because there's, like, literally, you know, very few natural objects to shield you or something like this. This has been a very interesting campaign in that regard. This is tank country, in my opinion, not infantry country. But yeah. In the back, we have a whole mess of things that are out of ammo. The encircled company and, you know, another company which I've not really supplied as I should. But yeah, they are basically us there. These blinking units, you know, there's nothing for them here. But yeah, let's get on with it. I think, and yeah, there's this engineer company here, which is, yeah, you can see 2 platoons with together make 33 men. There's not a whole lot to do with them, and they're not forced. You know, in another case, maybe I would force them into battle, but now, not really. We have a lot of infantry to use here. So anyway, let's get going. Yeah, and Laub is even, you know, quite low on ammo, or at least the squad leader is. So anyway, it's gonna probably take a while until we get the first contact here, considering the low visibility and so on. MGs are moving out nicely. Infantry platoons are moving out nicely. Told to hold fire, obviously. So should the mortar men, or the spotters for the mortar be. As well as the company commander can hold fire. Only the MGs from that company should be firing. Anyway. Oh yeah, and here we can see the enemies targeting Stable platoon. Or, well, getting close to him with some artillery. I don't think these guys are dug in or anything. I try putting them, like, somewhere reasonably at the field's edge or something, but it's still, you know, it's not good. Pantsna platoon, on the other hand, has these foxholes they can make use of, which is pretty cool. Enemy artillery is hitting the river here. Good for us. Anyways. I don't like how these guys are grouped up, like, kinda outside a trench here, but yeah, well, whatever. We're hindered by the fact that we can't access the rest of the strong point there to the left. Well. It is what it is. Oh, and look at this, a Katyusha salvo coming in towards our position here against the Luava. This is brutal. MG men are ducking for their lives, and the gun crew leaders, or whatever you want to call it, he was killed in that. What do you even call this? Commander within a heavy weapons squad. Oh my goodness. Herzl and Kilian are disobeying their orders. No. Look at this. Ah, pain. This sometimes happens when you issue an attack order. They just keep moving past it. Ah, god dang. Okay. Cancel order. These guys are definitely gonna have to be allowed to open fire here. We're gonna have a unit lost, yeah, and MG34 here on the right is not doing too hot. As you can see, they're kind of low on ammo and stuff as well, so I mean, it's not the best MG platoon. Anyway. Kilian and Herzl just... Okay. So, what we're gonna do here is allow these dudes to take up a position here, I guess. I mean, maybe then they will be the first ones into contact, and Hofrichter here can hold their fire. So let's tell Hofrichter to hold fire. I'm not too happy about this, but it is what it is. Okay. Yeah, they're shelling Nestilovo quite heavily here. Anyways. But you can see how much firepower we have set up behind our attack here. Just need a little bit clearer weather, and then I think we should be good to go. And I'm unsure how strong the enemy is here. Anyways, we could probably get Ludwig's platoon to move out. They should be allowed to fire, obviously, unless they're on the move, and move over here concealed, like so. And then they will go across the creek here, hopefully, and get into quite a nice staging area to attack here. Wahlberg platoon can hold position for now. Same with Hype platoon. Okay, here we go, our first guests. Let me access you. You guys should definitely be allowed to open fire now. Here we go. And Krüger, or Krüger, I would guess, MG platoon, open fire. So this recon platoon should be spotting those Soviets out there, that Soviet patrol, and getting them any second now, guys. Oh well, it seems like these dudes over here are, yeah, we're finding some targets out here in this field instead. Luckily, we told them that they could fire just as the enemy appeared, which meant that this squad was brutally cut down. And over here, Herzl is getting into it. The enemy is, of course, trying to infiltrate through the same forest as we are. But we're doing it a bit better than them. It looks like we're just spotting them. But yeah, we haven't taken a casualty, but I saw a few Soviets dead right there. Anyways. Yeah, these two just walked into the MG position. This is quite unfortunate for the Soviets. Come on, get a burst on that dude. Oh my god, listen to this. Do you hear that? Yeah, Nestilova is being freaking cooked. And here we can see the Soviet specialty. Bunch of grenades. Anyway, good that it's not Hofrecht platoon taking this. This is the problem, by the way. I've described this before. You guys, Kilian, please hold position. Stop moving too far. That, you know, when the battlefield is this big, you have to really focus on, it's hard to keep focus because things are happening all over the place right now. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm a bit curious how the recon platoon is handling this. Because they don't seem to be reacting at all to what's going on here. Oh my god, that's a big movement, by the way, here. Now, at least we're acting on the enemy here. They're reacting. MGs here are finally spotting these dudes. So look at this. This is a beautiful target for any machine gunner. Just dudes lined up for him. Anyway, we have a retreat. I'm guessing Yeah, look at this. This squad just got annihilated here in the forest. Damn. Anyway. Let them hold position. They have been told... Oh no. I want them to move with AI maneuver control, obviously. And look here. So it's just coming down the hillside here. Reacting to fire, obviously. But we have units up there that should hopefully be getting eyes on any second now. Anyways. Agnestilova just keeps getting shelled. Retreat. That's a platoon. As yet again, one more retreating subunit. Squad, also known as. Yeah, these guys will have to be the lambs to the slaughter. Take up a lot of the fire before Hofrichter attacks. So, Hofrichter, please, whatever you do, hold fire. Don't waste anything. MGs are now working here. They've gotten into position. So finally these dudes get some help here. We also have anti-tank guns working in the direct fire role against the infantry. Pretty cool. Oh my god. Yeah, we can see the effects of this heavy fire here. The Soviet attack has been completely crushed. However, here they're quite hidden from our heavier systems. But look at this. What a crazy fight. These dudes just got cut down to hell, man. Yeah. These dudes were not fit for attack in any shape, way, or form. Nestilova keeps getting shelled. Medle Recon platoon is really, you know, not reacting well at all, I would say here. Of course, we have dudes being captured. That's all they do throughout this whole campaign. Oh my god. And here, this whole... Oh man, oh well. Yeah, those dudes suck. I forgot how bad they were, honestly. Lutwitz is getting on with it here, nicely. Yeah, Medle Recon platoon here is really, you know, you need to take up position inside the trench, guys. I don't know. Come on, tell them to do that. Like, fucking get inside the trench. Or maybe they're bugged. There is a bug, I know, when you tell them to use the take cover command. Can affect both your own and the enemy forces. Which means that they won't be doing a whole lot. What the hell is going on here, guys? Did this guy get molotoved or something? And look, they're just covering for their lives here. Not really fighting effectively. Anywho. Bought an enemy gun for a split second out there. Medle, you guys suck, man. Let's see if I can... do this then, see if they react. I'm just trying to send orders and see if they start moving. But no, they're standing still like lambs to the slaughter here. Okay. Lutvitz is tired from that little movement. So let's keep him still. Okay. And here, oh my god. What a shit show. Okay. Oh well. Oh well. And Hofrichter, I want you guys to hold fire. If I tell you to hold fire, please hold fire. Don't worry about it. Here we have the enemy gun. Ah, an infantry gun. It would be really cool if these guys utilize the trench system to take cover from it and stuff. Lutvitz is getting into contact with the enemy now. Friendly AT guns are firing on towards the enemy infantry guns, which is nice to see. And here we can see our first infiltrators, you know, taking the way around here, trying to get into our position. But we are prepared for that, at least. I hope. These machine gunners should be able to work if they get too far up. Oh my goodness. Did you see that? Are these Maxim guns? Come on. Nope. Big TIRFs, DTs, but just a whole bunch of them. Look at this. What the hell? The triplets. The MG triplets hiding in the weed. Hiding in the weeds. The hell? This is ominous as fuck. What the fuck? What do you do against that? Oh man. And our MGs here have been shot up to shit. No way we can counter that. Honestly, guys. One of the squads here of Sight's platoon just got freaking like annihilate. Oh, that's gonna suck. Okay, cool. Anyway. Most amazing thing just happened, guys. I had to pause. My girlfriend brought in some, like, what do you call it? Like, 2 sandwiches, some cookies, just, you know, being a kind girlfriend. That is amazing. That is amazing. Truly what a frontline commander needs, you know, especially when things are looking like this, guys. I mean, come on. Look at Hetzel platoon and Kilian platoon. What a bunch of buffoons. Anyhow. Yeah, I guess, bro. Look at this machine gun fire. This is insanity, guys. Duck your heads down. No, get down. Oh, guys. Oh, and they're returning fire towards the machine gunners. What the hell? That is insane. Things are actually insane here on the Eastern Front. Maybe we can get this machine gun working on it. I don't know though. I don't know. Here it seems like the anti-tank guns for a second got some visual on the enemy across there, which would be cool if they had. But I don't think they're able to fire like that. And damn, we're getting caught up in the casualties. I'm noticing. Medle scout platoon is just fucking They suck, by the way. I don't know what to tell you guys. These guys suck. I just want them to use cover appropriately. No, not today. Not today, Jose. I do wonder, did we get any of these guns? Yeah, one of them seems to have been cleared up, so that is good for the future. It looks like this one is broken too, if you look at the wheels. And they're so strong, the Soviets. They're so, like, they just keep trucking, man. This is turning out to be a much bloodier ordeal than expected, you know, so let's send some mortars their way. Like so. Look at this, they're just getting onto our trenches. We haven't had any luck fighting on this side of the map, have we? There's always some bullshit across the river, too. Just... Here we go. Look at them, they're just running through the front line here. Here's our company commander. Okay. Let's send in Olberg to retake this position, or reinforce it, rather. Like so. And then take up defense there. That gun is no concern to me. We have our own guns, which are way more accurate, way more deadly. It's sadly is getting hooked up here, like getting caught up by the enemy. Yeah, Hetzel and Kilian platoons are no good. Yeah. Look, this is... Oh my god, he's actually American. Oh, I thought he was fent leaning. Oh no. Oh no, but he's not. He's just hovering. Oh, that is bad. That is sad, actually. Let's allow Olberg, of course, to fire at will. And did we? Yeah, I think both guns are knocked out here. As I said, nothing to worry about. And now with all this fire coming, we can send up Ludwig's platoon, I think, to retake this position here. So without formation, maybe even, and send them in there. Good luck. And tell Piper to join in the fight. They should be, I think, on a line quickly like this, push into the unknown, and then without formation and without going quick, trying to retake here. Here we go. Cool. Captive's taken over here. That is good to see, at least. Bloody fighting here. Really. Let's see. Frontline soldiers of both nations here are sharing the same trench as their last resting place. Extremely gruesome, but yeah. And those guns across the dawn, those machine guns aren't really a big concern right now, I think. Doesn't seem that way either. Or anyway. Yeah, well. The AT gun is finding a target out there in the field. He angled up, I think. No. Or yeah, he is trying to find it at least. Fight between poor sights platoon is getting cut to shit here, but yeah, well. Not much to do for them. They sadly got dealt a bad hand as well, I would say. But yeah, once they get exposed to our heavier weapons, you know, they're pretty cooked. Now we're pushing here for the first trench line. Look at all this firing. Oh my god, you are in trouble. No, you're just low on ammo. I knew that from before. I was wishing that we would not be attacked this heavily though in the beginning. But yeah, well, it happened, so. As we can see, quite a strong presence here. But they are getting whooped, honestly. So this wave here of German infantrymen should be able to reconquer the height quite easily. But this must suck, just racers going above your head like that. Man. Let's see here. Let's send Olberg on the attack. Or actually, one of the squads is counted as tired here. Ah, fuck it. They'll have to just move into the next position here. Set them up for the attack at least first. So get on a line across or along the creek here. Sights is not doing hot here. Oh. Pipe can hold position for now. They should be allowed to maneuver with AI control, of course. Okay, cool. Let's send some mortars your way here. Like so. This machine gunner needs to lock in. Look at this. They're just retaking this trench super effectively, moving up along the trench, throwing grenades and everything, and these dudes are just sitting here with their pants down. Huh. Maybe react to the fire, maybe, you know, something. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Let's not. And this dude is just out here being captured by us. His comrades haven't even, like, summarily executed him at this point, which, I mean, wouldn't expect that, but that's what it is. And there's more and more just as we keep on pushing here. There's a bunch of these dudes. They're just out here holding their own, as you say, or as they say. Okay, well, Olberg can just take position quite nicely here. Be fine. Good luck. Man. Let's just take a moment here. This is brutal and horrible and everything bad. I mean, come on. What a fucking nightmare, honestly. How gruesome isn't this? Ah, man. Uh, I don't know what to say, guys. You'll be you'll be your own judge for that, I guess. I think that is quite gruesome. I'm not gonna lie. We need to get Keely and Platoon back together here. So try and regroup here or something. I think Luftwitz are getting to the edge of their attacking capacity here, and should actually try and set up a fake defense here in the, what do you call it, in the trench, especially as the enemy mortar team is back here and working at them. So yeah, even maybe a small retreat here or something. I don't know. Depends on how effectively they manage to utilize the cover that they have here. Wahlberg should definitely... Where are you? Part of Medla platoon. Crazy. You guys can set up defense back here. Oh no! The gun was out of ammo, so they surrendered, or they abandoned it. They can set up defense here. Big AT crew members. We are taking captives out here. That is good to see. That is really good to see. This gun is also suffering from the same problem, and they will be given the same orders to take up defense here. What is insane to me is that some tracers are flying past here from the enemy's direction. Okay, let's get the pipe here on the job of retaking this trench then. Let's get on a line here. Cool. And I thought all of these guns were dead. Apparently not. These 3 soldiers are utilizing the infantry gun again. But our pucks are retargeting, and they should all try to do it, honestly. Oh my god. Look at that though. Mortars are heavily impacting our assault here. So I would like Luftwitz to actually try and retreat here. And Olberg, you will have to recover for a bit there, I guess, and then make a dash for the mortars. Luftwitz is not faring well there. Right. That is crazy. That, I don't know what to even, how we can even explain what we just witnessed. Look at this. There's even more this time around. Oh. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I'm getting caught up here, but I mean, it is crazy, guys. I don't know how else to explain it, or how, like, put words to what I'm seeing here. Yeah, Piper needs to hold position. They're getting too tired actually to fight, I think. Need to just hold position here. Let the heavy weapons do the like hard lifting. And this is what I planned for, to fire upon this hill as we attack, not this like raciness everything descended into. The plans are, you know, just as they are rarely, you know, they rarely work out the way you want them to. We can see here, for example. Now, Olberg, you need to make this dash out here, I believe. Try and kill those mortar systems. They should be able to do it. Let's get into a firing line here quite quickly, and then not quickly. Keep pushing. Okay. Where is Father? He's all the way back here, huh? Good Justice will take up position in the front line, I believe. This trench seems to hold some room, so let's get him up there. But don't tell him to fire. He'll just reveal himself. MG's running out of ammo. Kinda expected, but still annoying. Guys to fire with observed fire and try to get some targeting on this mortar, maybe. It's gonna be a hard ask, honestly, but let's try. Move the platoon leader out a little bit. Maybe he can get eyes on. An infantry gun has run out of ammo here, so he's resorted to firing smoke shells. And get your asses out of there. I'm just gonna freaking broken arrow those dudes and send in some mortars. There we go. Right there. I didn't have any high hopes of them surviving anyway, so they're dead now, so no broken arrow, at least. Now, how about... And what are you up to, man? Why are you angled like this? Come on, get out of the trench, buddy. There you go. Slowly but surely, though, we're making our way here. These dudes are fairly soon, and sooner rather than later, gonna come upon the enemy mortar here. So let's tell them to keep pushing. Actually, with cancel order, like so. Now we see a bunch of anti-tank riflemen. That tells me that they're sending in an anti-tank rifle platoon, probably, which is, you know, quite a dumb thing to do for a situation. Here we can see more smoke shells probably from the mortars. Let's tell Piper now, who has regained some stamina, I guess, to up here. This way. Go. But it's still doing poorly. So you guys need to start putting rounds on those mortars. Getting suppressed by them though, and retreating and stuff. That is not good. Maybe we... I just want to silence them. These MGs haven't worked that much actually, so let's get them quickly up here. Like right here actually. Get those MGs up. All back platoon, yeah, they may be a bad idea. No, and they're being taken captive. Fuck. Let's get back then. Damn it. That was a really shitty executed plan. But also, I didn't expect them to get that caught up that quickly here. Moving on to the mortars. If they had reached just like a little bit further here, but no, they were quickly caught up, caught by the mortars, so to say. So, I mean, you have to try though. We don't have anything right now that can reach those mortars, and any attack will surely be quite heavily suppressed by them. Anyway. Let's keep going here. MG. What do you call it? MG platoon is moving out. Holberg. Yeah, everyone is in full retreat now. Those mortars really... But finally we're getting some targeting towards there though. I think he's worked it up now nicely. Yeah. So let's just get the guns in position to target the mortars then. Like here, for example. Here. Okay. Yeah. I can just hold position here. Let's see if Lutovitz can try and take this next trench line here. Come on. There we go. Like so. Now, these two MGs. These two MGs could probably get a move on and try and set up here, honestly. Yeah, maybe. I mean, it might be stupid, but nah, I don't know. Let's keep them where they are. They're pretty good where they're at right now. Let's not be too silly. Shelling continues towards Knestilova. Captives taken. Here. Cool. Good. Now they're getting it. It's a shame that a whole squad had surrendered. I was in like quite good shape for it. I would say we should do this. Tell everyone that can fire on these mortars that they definitely should. How these guys set up a defense back here. Lutvitz is actually getting onto objective quite nicely. Suffering casualties in the process, of course. And here, obviously, you know, just a Soviet. No, wait. Yeah, just a Soviet here. Throwing grenades at my men that have no ammo. Everything like this. This is normal. Whatever. I don't know. It is what it is. I don't know, guys. Really want to kill these mortars. Seems like we've gotten some blood on the ground. One of the mortar positions, which is good. Lutvitz nicely taking this trench here. Good. Now the MGs are being set up here. And look, they're going to work already. Beautiful. Good. That's what I'd like to see. Question is, do we want to send in... Oh my god, look at side platoon. That is insanity, and these MGs are all screwed. Question though is if we want to send in Hofrichter platoon here. Do we really, you know? We could afford to send some more mortar rounds this way and then move in with Kilian first to really check it out, you know? I don't know what this puck is up to, but he should just get up here. Okay, everyone under, or in Olberg platoon is now under, or able to be commanded, so let's just tell them to take cover here. Machine guns are still working beautifully. Good. Let's tell Piper to actually use these foxholes that have been dug here. I didn't see them. So let's send them in and try to take positions here in the foxholes at least. As we can see, we are hitting these mortars. We're slowly but surely taking them out, which is cool. Oh, we really attracted quite a lot of attention here on the right. Know what? Look at all these Soviet bodies here. Seems like they're taking casualties just as well, or just like we are. Which is good to see, honestly. I don't know what Oldberg platoon considers as, regrouping here, but this sure ain't it, so let's do this instead and hope for a better result. Okay. Elian is suppressed down there. Health platoon is just totally annihilated out there. This MG platoon as well, not in working order at all. Who the fuck are you? You're part of this MG platoon. Okay, cool. In a much better state. Look at the Soviet infiltrators over here. Is he gonna throw a grenade? Yes, he is. They're pretty good at that. My guy's less so. But yeah, here we can see my plan. This was what I wanted, to happen. And I think you guys can see the vision here. However, this little dip in train here, I wonder how many people have been killed just here throughout the whole campaign. If we just pause here and go down in a random spot here. Okay, I'm not seeing that many corpses right here. I mean, these ones are from the current game, obviously. Soviets and Germans and stuff, but I believe there's been heavy fighting here throughout, the whole campaign, but I'm not seeing those old corpses here, so it makes me wonder why. It's same here, honestly. This has been a really bloody location, for fighting, but the ground does not bear any witness to that. This place is still, however, you can see the corpses here from past battles, which is, obviously still a very gruesome detail in the game, but I don't know why we can't see any here. There should be some. Maybe I'm just blind. I don't know. I wonder if this barbed wire has anything to do with the difficulty we're having here. Let's tell these guys to quickly, without maneuvers, okay, halt, or cancel orders, and get on our line right there. Come on. Back forward is out of ammo, gun is abandoned. And of course we have some Soviets here behind the lines. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, they're way back here. I mean, come on. Yeah, because they can cross here outside the playable area by a couple 100 meters and walk along this road and then just get killed. And screw with my things in the process, by the way, also, yeah, always doing some kind of buffoonery. Well, it is what it is. this company commander could easily set up position here with his one strong platoon and help him out a little bit. And this company commander should definitely take up position at the front. Cool. Get that in order at least. And here, as we can see, you know, enemy Soviets are infiltrating behind our lines, but they are being cut down. I mean, it's just be thankful, you know. They're wasting men on this instead of at the front line, basically. Even here, still, you know, they're trying. I think these dudes are captured here. You guys should hold your fire. Instead of firing at the front, this cable crew should be getting back here and setting up a cable to the mortars, I believe. I don't know. Well, maybe that's just me. I don't know why someone is firing across here now. Unsure. Now is a good time, I think, to move up these MG teams, though. So why not just set them up here at the front line? Something like here, I guess. Cool. Let's try it. These MG crews could easily get into a position here as well. There's a lot of foxholes dug out here in the open, both by the Soviets and me, so that's good. At least some cover is able to be used there in the open. I don't know, this side has always been extremely brutal in the fighting. I don't really know why, but it has been. Anyway. I think all the Russian flak guns or pack anti-tank guns are now out of ammo. So get into the trench boys. What I got for you. And yeah, as we can see, you know, heavy fire. But Kilian platoon is just getting it as well, you know, they're just taking casualties after casualties out here. I'm guessing the Soviets are suffering way worse though, at this point. Who's out of... Okay, Pax back here in the background or in the rear. Obviously. Quite a hefty amount of units that are being sent here to our rear lines. You know, we've just taken 10 casualties back here, where you never suspected anything would happen, but... Mius front, you know, so... Now these dudes are looking a bit more organized. Still not good though. Here we can see MGs are being set up at the front line. Good to see. I think we got one of the guns here at least. Yeah, this one is definitely ruined, which is good. But okay, where are we now? Okay, sadly this MG was totally knocked out, and some of them are even completely out of ammo here. A gruesome place. Horrible, horrible, horrible. As I said, this place has always just been brutal and also a bit buggy, you know. with how they can flank across this whole area, and you know, it would be. I mean, it's cool that you can fight across the river. Don't get me wrong, but it's in this case it's handled a bit poorly, I would say. So this trench is mostly manned by gun crews from the Russian guns now. They only have Mausers and quite little ammunition for them, so I don't expect much from those guys, but they can fill out the position, obviously. Ilian is now completely useless as a fighting unit. Or Kilian platoon, rather. Now Olberg has gotten himself on a nice line here. So, how about we try and occupy this trench with him? Something like that. Now with the MGs up here, by the way. Actually, let's wait for the other MG section to get deployed here. But after that, I think we can attack with pipe towards this trench here. And that is one of the full squads from Olberg platoon who decided to get captured, or well, they got captured rather. But look, there's even more. There's a whole squad just here. They never cease. They just keep coming and coming and coming. We are running low on ammo, aren't we? The MGs are still pretty strong. That is good. If we get a good fire towards here, you know, they stick their heads up a little bit too much. Here we go, this is more like it. Captives taken. Oh, over there, cool. The mortars are working now, but we should be able to work quite well against them as well. So let's see if we can actually deploy the MGs a little further up here, honestly. So just get it going, boys. Trolls are being spotted out in the open and taken care of. See? As I said, I wonder how strong they are. I've been wondering that throughout this whole campaign. Like, it feels almost too much. Let's try and infiltrate with some boys here with some concealed movement, though. But yeah, it's almost, you know, too much. I don't know how many men they have at their disposal. Wolberg is still being cut down by those mortars. But I mean, the solution is easy, guys. Take a couple of steps, or like move a couple of meters and get into the trench, like these two buffoons. Like, you know, people will write something now in the comments like, oh, but you shouldn't be, you know, moving like this or doing this. But, you know, if they just did what was reasonable, move along the tree line here, get into the trench system, I mean, it wouldn't be a big deal. But they decide to do some stuff like this, and obviously, you know, you get caught out doing that. So, I don't know. Returning fire now against the mortar system, or the mortar crew, which is good to see. Keep their heads down. Yeah, these dudes are tweaking out here. They're literally just tweaking. I don't know what to say. I'm not impressed by their performance. Okay. Commander's killed. Alien platoon, one of the squads. Okay, well, yeah, the whole squad or the whole platoon is fucked. So, and they just keep coming here. How many of these dudes have we killed over here at this point? I mean, just look at the ground here. Ah. Nice fire coming from here towards the mortars. That is good to see. I wonder though. These buffoons. They deserve whatever happens to them here. Honestly. Just get into the trench, get into... There's foxholes here, there's whatever, you know. Whatever you need is right here at your disposal, but no. I mean, if this is how you're gonna go about it, I mean, come on. I mean... I guess, bro. I guess. I don't know, I guess. And look here. This is what we wanted. This is what I want to see. Beautiful. Where are they spotting? Enemy infantry units. Oh god damn. Now they want a ceasefire, huh? Oh yeah? Well, they didn't want a ceasefire when they were doing a bunch of buffoonery earlier. You know, really grinding my gears here. These freaking platoons got annihilated in this forest. There's just no way to beat the Soviets in a forest, honestly. In this game. There you go. Beautiful. Now let's see if we can target this mortar instead. I think we can. Maybe not. Maybe. Yeah, it looks like we're able to at least. Yeah, we can see our impacts here. They're ranging it in right now. Beautiful. But yeah, Olberg is just the worst platoon ever. Maybe I'm being unfair, guys. I don't know, but they really, you know, they have their ways of going about these things. And sometimes you have some platoons which you feel, I mean, it's almost like, you know, obviously they're all basically the same. They won't behave any different to each other, but some platoons you really feel like, oh my god, you guys are freaking actually doing stuff correctly. Some of them it feels like, what the hell? Did you even pass, you know, basic training? I don't know. And yeah, well. These dudes are assembling their MG here. And these dudes, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know where they're going exactly, honestly, here. I'd like for him to go maybe here. So let's do that instead. Anyhow. And yet another, you know, you can still see movement out here. Still people, still the enemies trying to attack across here. It should be quite obvious how bad of an idea it is by this point, but they have their orders. And I have mine that I've set out for myself. Farmstead nameless, guys. I don't know. I don't know. Let's get Ludwig's platoon out here instead. And yeah. I wonder what happened to Medle platoon. Yeah, here they are. Here they're going. Cool. I wonder what happens if I tell Ludwig's platoon to just get up here with concealed movement. Will they go like this? Because that is what I would want them to do. So we will see. I'll just tell them to move concealed there in that way. And we will see what kind of movement they make. It is looking quite positive, honestly, at this point. Maybe that's what we should have done this whole time. Hofrichter is actually looking decent here. But they're also actively like in a firefight as we want them to move out, so maybe not do that. Let's maybe not do that right now. See if we can get Olberg without cancel order to move through the trench system like this. I don't know. I don't know though. Something is like impacting right here. I don't know from what system or anything. It's ours obviously, but you know. Anyhow. Some kind of heavy fighting is going on. Yeah, it's over here on the right. You can see us under fire getting all over the screen. Let's send Ivan some mortars. Keep his head down, maybe. Doesn't look like we're taking farmstead nameless today, at least. Maybe we can try and reach a bit towards here. Retake the crossroads, maybe. Yeah, Medley is moving along nicely here too. Keep it up, boys. This mortar needs to be silenced, for God's sakes. These guns, are they even firing or... No, it's machine guns. Do you not have high explosive? No, you're out. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, no, they're completely, they don't even... Ah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense then. Well, let the MGs fire. And here... Yeah, well, we've gone through it at this point. What's going on here? I'm thinking we will maybe do a bit of a longer episode today. As this bell, you know, I think it kind of... the bell wants it at this point, or whatever you say. These guys, you know, we have people here on the front line who are completely out of ammo, just holding positions, which is insanity to me, you know. Yeah, they can get up here, but they will get, you know, suppressed or killed at this point at least, which is good. Okay, we have lost so many dudes here. Yeah, that company really took it poorly or got it badly. Also this one, obviously, you know, race being halved. Anyway, I do wonder what the Soviets' casualties are looking like here. Maybe we're actually getting cooked in this battle. Who knows? Yeah, we're all toga lining along this trench system here. Mortars are so hard to silence. I don't have any mortars on my own either. I do wonder if I turn this on and tell them to try to, you know, target over there. Yeah, we're working up a targeting. Okay, yeah, cool. So hopefully in a bit oh, and look at that fire intensity now that they're trying to suppress rather than kill. That is pretty good. But I want that fire to be right there, actually. Could have done that too. I mean, you forget about these things as you're playing, like what kind of options you have available and so on. Which is, you know, pretty sad, or pretty, you know, pretty, like when I watch these videos later on when I'm editing them, I'm always like, okay, that's probably what I should have done here. You know, someone's gonna tell me something in the comments section about this stuff. But yeah, you just like, especially when you're playing like multiple like what I would call episodes, or you know, multiple battles in a row. You know, there's one thing when it's quite isolated, like okay, this platoon has to go here and this has to happen, blah blah blah. Sure, but it's not always like that. You know, you don't always have a, like, say a combat mission. You know, they're usually quite easily like contained in their battle. Like if you guys catch what I'm trying to get at here, you know. Meanwhile, the Mius front, these are pretty big battles, and yeah. Wasted, or a lot of ammo went to that from the MGs. Let's just say that. But maybe, I hope we actually got that or got this mortar crew here, and it looks like we did. Yeah, we should have done that from the beginning. Oh well. Let's have Pipe actually attack just straight up like that. See what happens. We're occupying this trench like well enough. Ammo is looking decent for Hofrichter here. Maybe together with Pantsner platoon and Stäbler platoon we can perform a counter-attack. let's see here. How is Stable doing for ammo? Pretty decent. Pretty decent, actually. Let's get him on a line right here. Stage to attack across the field like this, maybe towards this the trench system here between Farmstead Nameless and Gnestilova. What are you doing out here, man? Just walk back, bro. Nobody's gonna notice. Yeah, PPSHs and hand grenades here in close quarters, you know. Not easy dealing with these Soviets in infantry combat. Okay, we need to get MGs up that can cover this attack, I think. So let's have this machine gun platoon. No bueno. Maybe it's not that bad, honestly. Maybe they can get it done. Look at this guy hiding. But I think they figured him out. Maybe. Maybe. Even people still over here. But it surely feels like, you know, the vast majority of the enemy's attacking power is has run out of them at this point. I must say. Let's hold Lutvitz platoon here for a while. Let's actually hold all the dudes here. Even these guys, they need to take a little rest. They're getting tired. It's just no laughing matter, honestly. You know, when you're tired, you're tired. You know, you're not gonna get stronger. Yeah, sometimes the only solution is to rest, obviously. So. And this distinctive noise, that is the PPSH. The freaking... I don't know, man. The most powerful weapon in the whole game, honestly, at this point. I don't know. Maybe someone disagrees, but... I think it has a... Like, even if you just look at the stats even, you know, they have a... The PPSH has quite impressive, like, fire intensity and all that stuff, you know. It is, like, statistically not OP maybe, but, you know, extremely strong. I think it, you know, over time it even has like a higher fire intensity than German machine guns due to just how bugged they are for the German infantry. So that is always nice, you know, when your only real option to win against the Soviets are your MGs, you know, and still, you know, that it doesn't matter really. You have to utilize these heavy assets like tripod MGs and heavy systems, guns, mortars, and so on. Look at this, nobody around here has any ammo, so the Soviet officer can just waltz right in, basically. Crazy. I don't know, guys. Did you expect such a bloody battle like right here? Maybe you did. Maybe I'm the only one who's being stupid here. You guys should all be on fire at will. I mean, why not? Pipe is taking up positions here quite nicely. Good to see. I wonder if it would just be faster if I tell them to move on covert move here. We'll see how they do it. I think they should utilize this trench, honestly. This stuff back here is always also so annoying when fighting on this side of the map, you know. Really, you know, it ruins the mood because you always have to check over your shoulder, you know, all the time. Okay. Anyway, Stable platoon is getting into a nice position here. So, could send up the company commander, I believe, to be a bit more in the shit with the boys, so to say. Which is, you know, just a wonderful thing to do as a frontline commander. Oh, you gotta roll. Sometimes. Through this whole place. I mean, I wish I had like a 10.5 centimeter battery with incendiary rounds for this stuff. Just burn it all to the ground. And look here. When you issue the like concealed movement command, they utilize these trenches much better than just telling them to take cover. Anyhow, let's send I think we can send Stable platoon. Maybe to take this hill now. From this angle. Even Foxhole's at the top of it, so yeah, let's tell them to go in an attacking line like this, and then when they reach that, take up position in the foxholes. They have a lot of support across the other side here, which should hopefully help out. Yeah, here the Soviets just basically march in and mop us up because these units have no ammo, and they can utilize, you know, this. They can just, even though they shouldn't be able to go across here because it's out of map or out of bounds, you know, I can't order anyone here. If I, for example, said like move concealed here or something or whatever, they would probably move like that, and yeah. But that's cool. Don't like how the river crossing was handled there, honestly. Tell these guys to take a breather, getting tired. I don't know if the fog is clearing up, boys. This game is super eerie, like in moments like this when you get down on the lower levels, you know, just knowing how many people are dying and everything, like, and hear the wind just howling and stuff. It's honestly horrible. Over here, you know, the fighting is not very intense, but it's still going. I hope that when this platoon, what is it, Stäble, yeah, when they move across here, that the enemy is kind of forced to reveal themselves a little bit. But I think we should hold them here. They're getting tired as well. It's been a big problem throughout this episode, honestly, as the unit's getting tired. Which is like, you know, it is what it is. Just have to plan accordingly. I think we're able to just stop outside here in the field though. Shouldn't be a problem. Purely due to the fact that like we have so much support on the other side, if they can just, yeah, as we can see, firing vectors or whatever you want to call it, like targeting is being brought up here. Captives taken even, nice. Only issue is if they can fire from this reverse slope here, so to say. Like this machine gunner is. So we should silence him with some mortar fire. Yeah, I'm back here, you know, this place is just getting... It's nice. It's nice. See, they can just walk through here and cause a bunch of mayhem. Interestingly enough. Yeah, well, whatever. Let's send up Hansna here now. In this manner. Pipe maybe has regained their composure a little bit here. And can make a move towards the crossroads there. At least we're getting something out of this. We're getting quite a nice way here, or no, how do you say it? We're building we're building up for quite a nice capture of Farmstead Nameless in the future, I think. At least. Yeah, this eastern side of the map has truly been like the, what do you call it, like the red-headed stepchild of the whole campaign, you know. Throughout, it's always been brutal. It's never been like clean fighting. I mean, obviously throughout the campaign I think we have seen some brutal fighting overall. I'm not saying that, it's just this side has really been something spectacular when it comes to that, you know, so. Just look at how they're utilizing these trenches. I mean, it's not perfect at all. Interesting. Well, our poor captives have been taken across to the other side of the river now. And yeah, well, as I've said before, you know, Siberia awaits. Have fun. I mean, how many dudes can they bring across, though? Look at this shit. Behind my lines. Look how many there are of them dead, also. What the hell? There's gotta be at least, like, a company's worth, or maybe I'm exaggerating, but, like, 1 or 2 platoons worth of dudes that we've killed here. Which is, you know, just crazy. Anyway. Yeah, let's send the last of the mortars out now. Screw these guys. Honestly, screw them. Or not the last of the mortars, but 10 rounds. It's brave of him. I mean, a lot of stuff could go wrong with it for him doing all that stuff. That Soviet soldier, that is. As you can see, tracers are now hunting him down. Now, let's send in Hofrichter for this shit now. Try and, you know, together with the mortar, maybe. Let's keep the fire up, by the way. I don't just burn this whole place down, honestly. Send in the flamethrower, man, for God's sake. If we had one. Or we do, actually, but, you know. He's way back, and I don't want to bother him. Okay. Tell Lutwitz to take up defense like this, then. Pipe, you can just hold position for now. And you're issuing orders on your own to attack the enemy here. Which seems to be suffering from the crouching bug. I mean, look at this. How horrible must that... This is like a reasonable position, even like in this battle, to set up some kind of staff, or like back in Verilovka, I mean, it's more reasonable. But like, this is a good, like, defensible position. It would be reasonable to set up something here at least, you know, or even for every unit that has to go into, like, just move across this place into battle, and you see this, and you're like, huh, yeah, well, this is gonna be a good time, and then you keep going, okay, oh well, here are the Germans, so, or that was a Soviet, I think, yeah, that's a Soviet soldier. But yeah, okay, so you see some ruined German guns, but just moving across this battlefield, you're gonna see dead comrades even along the road as you're going into battle, you know. And then somewhere around here, way before when, like, we counterattack, they're gonna be like, okay, fucking step off the truck, or just like get into battle formation. We're gonna attack freaking Bird Grove here, and you're like, yes, Commissar. I'm gonna fucking... I'm your strongest... I'm the strongest Soviet around here, you know. I'm gonna fucking do this shit. I mean, that is... the balls you gotta have, man. Well, with enough Samogo and everything is possible. This might just as well be their regimental HQ, by the way, guys. Considering these are trucks without occupants, like, I think they're supply trucks. I've been eating a sandwich. They might just be supply trucks for the regimental HQ. So let's take Lutwitz platoon here and tell them to take up this position here. Cool. This should honestly just get up here. Udel should get up here. Good. How's it going for Hofrichter here? Getting into trouble. Let's hold right here then. I mean, I've tried everything. How many mortars haven't I poured down into this place? They're still active here. I mean, come on. Give it up, will ya? And yeah, just, you know, getting blown up by a Soviet grenade. I mean, they're so good at using these grenades. I'm not even, you know, I don't know what to say about it. And look at that, MG across the river. Forgot about those, or well, I didn't, but I thought we had got them all at this point, but no. I honestly don't know why my guys aren't using grenades. Do they not have them? Let's look at this guy, for example. Oh yeah, they have a bunch of grenades in the squad. Come on now. Anyhow. This more couldn't come at a better time, by the way. They need to hurry up. We're getting beat out by these dudes, by the way. Like, quite severely. What are you firing at? Oh, a rifleman. Get up there. Okay, let's see here. Yep, Stabler platoon is... You don't want to fight anymore. Yes. Our mortars are finally coming in on these dudes. They deserve it, honestly. Done some more. Hopefully they're accurate here. I mean, all you would need to do, I mean, playing against the Soviets in this game is just plop them down in a forest somewhere and kill everything that enters at that point. Hey, look at this formation, by the way, like we're just 1 meter from each other. My guys are quite nicely spread out, you know, moving across and they're a larger force even, but still we're having troubles getting these guys. There we go. Mortars hitting among them, so should soften them up a bit. But still, they're part of the local fauna or something, you know. It's extremely hard to get them. They're like weeds in a forest or in a garden. That doesn't sound good. But yeah, they're just extremely hard to, you know. You guys know what I mean. They're hard to dislodge when they are dug in or, you know, make themselves at home somewhere. They really are. I think anyone who's played this game, you know, can attest to it. Where did you guys go, by the way? Here. Okay. Now let's send this mortar spotter up to the front line here. Just get up here and find a cozy foxhole, because you're gonna be directing the last of your mortars in from very close range. Okay, cool. Now, let's attack this regimental HQ then, I guess. It. Which is what I suspect that to be. One member of 4th Victor platoon here is freaking working, dude. Look at this guy. What a man of what a true man of war. There's so many of them here. Can't we kill him? That's like at this point, come on. He is out here throwing grenades, so he has been to the Soviet School of Infantry, obviously. It's a never-ending, like, throwing of grenades. Nice. That is good. That is good, at least. Here we can see tracers are lighting up these trucks out here. But occupants are still alive, I think. They should be thinking about getting the hell out of there. Looks like these Soviets are leaving. They might be retreating, actually. Good. Let's send in Hofwick to him. Come on. Ebla and Panzer platoons can get on the same line now. They're together, they can make one decent platoon. Here, are we getting these guys? Dude, this is so freaking cool. Honestly. How eerie isn't this? Like, what you're looking at right now, guys. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I think it's super, super creepy, almost. It looks like a totally different planet. And you're marching across it. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting, it's late here, I'm getting, you know. But what the hell, man? That is super, super duper creepy, in my opinion. Let's hold position here. Look at him, getting knocked out. And getting sprayed. Yeah. Wanted him to stop and turn around. That wasn't in his cards, so to say. No way. Let's send some artillery this way. Just a few. Couple of rounds. Oh my goodness. Look at this place. But I think they're in full retreat. It looks like they're suppressed or something at least. Nice nade. Could get some rounds into that place, honestly. We're really close now, but still having a hard time with the targeting. Oh well. Oh well, oh well. This kind of fighting, forest fighting against the Soviets sucks in this game. Obviously in real life, you know, the Finland, you know, it wasn't a problem for the Finnish forces, at least not like on the tactical level. Some people are always going to be like, same as well when you like talk about Germany during World War II. There's always some dudes that's like, well, the Soviets won the war, but like, yeah, of course, yeah, but we're talking about tactical proficiency. We're talking about like, is an army effective on the tactical plane? Like, or are they effective? Like, how do you say it? And that's that, you know, because the Soviet army was inefficient, ineffective, incompetent, and they did not win the war by being like good at fighting a war. They won they won the war basically by being good at winning a war, or you know, having the prerequisites for winning a war. For example, the reason Germany lost the war was not because they were worse at fighting the war. They were way worse at a lot of other stuff you need to have if you want to fight a war. Like, you know, diplomacy, natural resources, allies, and don't come to me and talk about some freaking like minor axis or like, or you know, even talk to me. Japan is on the other side of the world. Italy is Italy. You know, do I need to say more? Um, and then what does that leave you? The minor axis, and like, you know, don't come talking about some goddamn minor axis, bro. Like, these are like, you know, what do you have? Like Romania, Bulgaria, Hungary. These are like, you know, at that, like, you know, Sweden at that point was like, you know, basically a hunter-gatherer society, you know, at the level, you know, basically at the same level as a hunter-gatherer society, you know, when it comes to like technological advancements and stuff. And you're talking about some Bulgaria, bro. Come on. Anyway, now these dudes are getting into it a little bit here. But yeah, anyway, so what you need to win a war isn't maybe what you think. You know, always you might be thinking, oh, you're better at fighting in a war. You know, oh, blah blah blah. No, that is not how you win a war. That is how you fight a war. That is how you fight the battles in the war. But winning a war is like, you know, you need like quite some other capabilities. You need like that we're talking like some real big nationwide or even like you know, continental political stuff. Like at the end of the day, war is more of a political act than, you know, just the fighting part. And yeah, I mean, so and it's the same with the Finnish armed forces. You know, there's been a lot of like historical almost revisionism surrounding like the Soviet forces during the war. That, oh, they were actually, you know, pretty good, and you know, Finland lost the war, so against the Soviets, obviously, you know, they lost the Winter War, they lost the Continuation War. Obviously, you know, they suck at fighting, but no, they mopped the Soviets. This little, I mean, if Sweden was a hunter-gatherer society, you know, we're talking freaking the Finnish level of advancement during that time. I'm not gonna be like dissing on my Finnish viewers or anything, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, it wasn't all that. And then some dude is gonna come here and talk about like, oh, the Soviet Union, just the biggest nation on the planet, you know, losing out to freaking Finland when it comes to like tactical battles and, you know, just obviously, you know, in general war fighting, as it were, you know, really getting cooked by this little country. I mean, how are you gonna lose like that, bro? And still people talk about like, oh yeah, the Soviets. I mean, I remember that during my Q&A, what was it? My Q&A special, and for once I explained like, you know, I don't care to play for the Soviets. That's nothing that interests me at all. And most people or a lot of people are like, oh, I agree with you, understand why. And I'm not saying like, oh, you're stupid if you like playing this the Soviets, but obviously you can play as whatever nation you want to, I don't care. But for some reason people really want to see me playing as them. And you know, I don't care for it. I don't want to play as these dudes. Why would I try to, you know, when I'm playing a game like a war game, obviously I'm trying to emulate some kind of proficiency and some, you know, well, being good at what I'm doing. And the Soviets were just dog shit at what they did. How are you even gonna explain it in any other way? And you know, one thing always that's so funny, like when it comes to this stuff, is people will debate this like into like in absurdum on the internet that, oh, they were actually quite good. Yeah, you just have to discount like 1941 and 1942. Oh, you can just count out the whole war, or like a whole year in a war. You can just be like, oh, that didn't, you know, that didn't count because it was the start of the war. What? In what other like country would that be applicable? They're saying, oh no, they're just slow starters. Okay, yeah. Well, tell me still why they had a like negative casualty ratio throughout the whole war. Like even in 1945, you're talking a Germany that is like basically a freaking, you know, it's been basically as close as a nation can be to being nuked without having been nuked. Like dudes at the factories are trying to put together tanks with like bubble gum and freaking, you know, they go down to the freaking toy store and buy a toy car and are like, ah, let me just grab some freaking, I don't know, spare parts out of this and let's build a tiger with it, you know. And still they managed to fucking get a good like positive casualty ratio and all that against the Soviets. And people are like, yeah, well, obviously casualty ratio isn't everything in a war when it comes to winning the war. No, because as the Soviets prove, yeah, you can win a war if you have just, you know, huge amounts of manpower, a huge industrial base, and some kind of way to transform, and also a huge amount of natural resources. And as long as you can translate these natural resources into rifles, tanks, guns, and everything else that an army needs, and somehow, you know, get them from point A in country to point B to the front line, you'll be probably pretty fine. Yeah, you will be. You will be fine, obviously, as they proved. But you won't be good at it. And you won't make people like in the future unless you're like some kind of like you're looking at history throughout, I don't know, the freaking I don't know what lens you have to be looking through to come to the conclusion that, oh yeah, they were a competent fighting force. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything other than that. I mean, like when it comes to things that I mentioned earlier, you know, yeah, they were actually quite good at like logistics, for example. You know, it's a huge ass country, and they were able to, you know, pump out a lot of stuff, you know, and that in of itself is pretty cool, I guess. But what you have to remember is that is not what that is not what I'm interested in. I don't know if you guys like that are watching this are super interested in like timing train schedules or something, because that's basically what logistics amount to. And yeah, or you know, counting how many tons of hay you need for horses to drag cannons, or like how many trucks you need to get lend-leased from the United States to actually have a functioning logistics chain. So that's one thing people always forget too when they talk about the Soviets. You know, ask a ask a, what do you want to call it, a Soviet Abu or something. How many percentage of the like fleet of trucks were made in the US during World War II? Because they're always gonna be like, but look, they only sent this many Shermans. And yeah, you know, because the only thing that wins a war is like how many tanks you put on the ground. Obviously, the nation that produced or like obviously the people that produced the T-34 would think such a thing. Oh, and another fun, like, you want to talk numbers? Guys, I'm losing it. But let me be fucking, let me just ramble. But you want to talk numbers? Look up how many, like, people during World War II. How many Soviets served on tanks? Okay. And how many of those people were casualties? What percentage of Soviet tankers amounted to be casualties in the end? I don't know, guys. Maybe just Google it a little bit, you know. All you need to do. It's you can even ask freaking, I don't know, what do you call it? Chat GPT or some shit. Like, you can just go and ask an AI. He will probably answer it quite kind of truthfully. I'm hoping. I don't know. I haven't asked him. But yeah. Good. You definitely could. Anyway, so what I'm trying to get at here, guys, is that like when it comes to warfare, what impresses me is proficiency and, you know, efficient use of what you have at your hands. Like, are you employing these units with their capabilities to their utmost efficiency? And you know, are you sound when it comes to, like, is your tactical thinking sound? Is your system for producing tactical thinkers, i.e. officers and NCOs, or is that a sound system? Do you like, you regularly like produce um, officers at a good rate that are able to proficiently utilize units in a battle space. Yeah, that is basically what the Germans were excellent at, and have been throughout like history. Um, and that is something that really impresses me, because war is basically dictated by, or it is completely dictated by officers up from like platoon leaders all the way up to generals and stuff like that. And just to become like a lieutenant colonel in the modern Swedish army, that's basically having a PhD in war. Like, it's not something you become just by being like, it's not a freaking video game, guys. You aren't gonna level up. Basically, you aren't gonna be like, oh, level 5 grunt, and then like, oh, now I'm a sergeant, and now, oh goddamn, I'm so good at freaking like changing mags, and I'm so good at I don't know, freaking changing like from prone to kneeling to standing. I'm so good at breaching freaking doors. I'm so good at throwing grenades. So now they just promote me to an officer. No, an officer, he goes to a school, guys. He goes there and he gets taught some shit. Okay, and from there on out, he studies it for an extreme amount of time, and he studies war at a like molecular level, which is really interesting to me. I think that is, if you want to get an understanding of war, that is how you should study it. Study it like officers do at like actual officer schools, because those are the people that really understand war. Just looking up facts and tidbits online is not really conductive to understanding war as a whole. And what I mean by this is that when you talk to a lot of historical enthusiasts about, or like people that are enthusiastic about war, I don't know about you guys, but I've found myself, in situations where I'm like, okay, but why are you bringing up this kind of like nonsense? Okay, that sounds mean, but you know what I mean. Like, for example, say you want to talk to someone about the Imperial Japanese Navy during World War II, and you're like, okay, but what's really cool from, like, how did they manage to actually, with these outdated ships, with this outdated technology, how did they manage to, actually work against the US Navy, which was really highly technological? And look at, for example, the education of a Japanese naval flyer or an aviator compared to a US naval aviator. The Japanese were, extremely well trained aviators during World War II. That is super interesting. Like, the system that brought these men forward, and especially for a nation like Japan, which is has been really isolated up until like the turn of last century, basically, and to then just 40 years later, basically walk the US Navy, kind of dog walk it for like a year, and the next year be like kind of on even terms. And then obviously they got their asses handed to them, but the time up until then, like, that is really interesting, because the technological disadvantage was clearly there. It was clearly present. And okay, so this is something you want to discuss with someone, and he starts freaking throwing out facts like, oh, did you know that the Yamato battleship was actually beached at the end of like World War II? Yeah, but that is a cool tidbit. And did you know that yeah, they flew kamikaze missions? Yeah, but like, what are you even talking about? Like, what do you mean? Why are you bringing up these like fun facts that you can? This is like Facebook level of thinking, when it's just a random ass, that dude got freaking blown up out there. Like, do you guys catch my drift here? Does anyone that's listening understand what I mean, or am I just being like unintelligible here at this point? I've been recording for way too long, by the way. But yeah, like, talking about some goddamn like freaking random fun fact about like a ship. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't care. I honestly don't care that much about it. Like, when it comes to the subject. Obviously, if you know, if someone wants to write a fun fact about like some material, like war material in my comments, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, don't fucking write that. Like, obviously you're welcome to do that, but it's like, that's a huge ass explosion. But yeah, it's just not like, let's see, it's almost 8 o'clock in game. Cool. But yeah, it's just not what it's really about, is what I'm trying to get at. Oh man, I hope someone understands what I'm trying to say here. I'm having a hard time putting my thoughts into words here. But that is actually like, you know, or well, how can you say it? It's like, how would you say it? Like, oh, you want to talk about German tanks during World War II, or like the employment of German tanks during World War II, like how are they able to do what they did? And someone talks about some freaking, did you know that the main gun of the Tiger was from an anti-aircraft gun from the beginning? Yeah, yeah, but like, you're talking about like platoon level, like, or not platoon level, we're talking about like how, on the grander scale of things, how were they able to advance at like a tempo of 70 kilometers per day? Like, how is that possible during the 40s, you know? How do you keep that kind of attacking tempo? Because that is actually insanity. How do you reach hundreds of kilometers into the Soviet Union in like a matter of weeks? How do you do something like that? Then, you know, because that to me is kind of interesting, not like individual gun calibers or I don't know, stuff like that. I mean, you kind of need to have that as a prerequisite knowledge to understand kind of what you're talking about. Like, technical specification for systems, obviously it's not something to scoff at, but your knowledge of war, if you really want to understand warfare, shouldn't stop there, is what I'm trying to say. So like, if you want to understand war a bit deeper, I would say like get off Wikipedia, stop looking at like like individual tank specifics or technical details or whatever, and maybe, you know, pick up a book or something. I mean, maybe that sounds mean. That's not what I'm trying to say, like in a mean way, but just, you know, that is probably where you're gonna get a lot of the information you're actually looking for if you want to understand it on a deeper level. You're not gonna get it from, in general, you're not gonna get it from Wikipedia, sadly, you know. So that's my little tip, at least. And if anyone wants any book tips, you can just ask in the comments and I will provide. Just tell me what you're interested in. Although, obviously, my knowledge is not how do you say it, like, it's not infinite, so if it's gonna be like a theater or a war that I've never had any interest in or never read about, you know, I'm not gonna have any good tips for it, of course. But when it comes to World War II or the Eastern Front in specific, I can probably, you know, or understanding war in general, obviously, you know, I do have some book recommendations for that. This dude found himself in a precarious position here. He's gonna get paid. Yeah. But yeah, as I said, if you want specific book tips, like for example, I know nothing about Burma during World War II. So if you want to know about Burma, that is a really cool theater, by the way, in my opinion. Like the Burmese theater of war. But I haven't read anything about it and all that, so I'm not gonna have any good recommendations for it or anything or so on. But if you want to know about the Eastern Front, yeah, I do have something, I guess, that I can tip, like, provide some tips about. But yeah, we didn't get very far here, did we? Or at least on this side, we are closing in on Farmstead Nameless. I'm hoping that we get this kind of like under our control, by the way. And that it's not just a big ruse. So it's like, you you know, as we've had in previous episodes, I hope we really get this under our control now. It'd suck if we didn't. We've lost so much manpower here, and I'm super curious about how the Soviets are looking in this battle. Oh my goodness. This dude is just covering for his life, isn't he? Oh my god, that is a mortar. Okay, yeah, I saw the actual mortar. Is that a mortar, man? Hold on. Nope. That is not a mortar, man. But they're still launching mortars right here. Okay. Let's try to save what can be saved of Vorfricht and tell them to get the hell into cover. Look at this stuff. What a gruesome forest. What a horrible battle. What a horrible battle it has been. I'm glad it's over. This kind of like grinding, freaking like horrible or whatever. What do you want to call it? Like yeah, almost a grind of a battle. You know, you have to almost just play it out in one go and get it done with. You know, this was not the clean operation I wanted, but it's what I got. And we, okay, we were actually quite stronger than them. And oh my god, did they lose, guys? Oh my goodness, did they lose soldiers here in this battle? So did we, obviously, you know. But and we were on the attack here. But we barely got anything for it, you know. In the like when we're talking. Oh wait, we definitely did. Honestly, I'm lying. We definitely did. We're forcing them here towards the edge of the river. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, in that case, it's worth it. Yeah, no tanks. Our infantry is painful. Let's go to the operational map mode and check it out. Yeah, look. Okay. Wasn't our best performance, I wouldn't say. But it is what it is. And I forgot to check, oh my god, if those trucks we killed belong to the regimental HQ. Oh well. Next battle will take place here. And I think our units here are a bit... We have one that is beautiful here. Yeah, this one. With 3 platoons. That is a luxury in this campaign, let me tell you guys. And we have some a bit good looking companies coming in. So, I mean, probably or hopefully it's not gonna be as brutal as this one, but we will see, guys. I'm totally knackered, by the way, having recorded this for a while now. So take care until next time, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, take care. Bye.